This particular morning, I woke up in the middle of the night to step into a four-wheel driven truck, riding me up into a volcano caldera on Java, Indonesia, with my partner Bart, and we climbed the volcano. After we saw the most gorgeous sunset that was out there, we climbed the actual volcano, the Bromo, and climbing was fine. Let me tell you that. Climbing to the edge was completely fine. However, coming to the edge of this volcano, hearing the sound, it's like a thunderstorm sound that continuously goes on, compared with glass breaking, and I'm hearing that. I feel so small, and I had the urge to run down, never go back again, don't look around me, and say, bye, I'm not turning here, I'm not doing this. See you later. Well, welcome to Business I Have No Clue, the podcast. This is my love letter to all the introverted, highly sensitive women out there who are building a business from scratch, trying to earn your own money, and long for freedom on your terms, obviously. Welcome to the No Clue Club. If this is your first time listening, hi, I'm so glad you're here. And if you're returning, welcome back. I see you, I hear you, and I'm so honored that you're here. And I'm not telling a story on the edge of a volcano if you think, what has that to do with business? I'll come to that in a second. Let's talk about fear and doing the scary stuff. This trip to Indonesia, it was a long time coming. I decided last year, let's go to Indonesia. My dad actually is born. Yeah, do you say it like that? Yeah. My dad is born in Indonesia and has lived there for 4 years of his life with my grandparents. I don't have Indonesian blood, by the way. My grandparents emigrated from the Netherlands. Yeah, they emigrated from the Netherlands to Indonesia, and after 8 years or so, they came back. But my dad was born there, so a tiny little bit of my roots are in Indonesia. And I was curious. I'm so curious. What does this look like? What kind of country is this? I am this introverted, highly sensitive person. In that side of the family, everybody is introverted, and high sensitivity is also not something that doesn't exist. I think, no, I shouldn't label other people, but we're a high sensitive family, let's put it that way. And cultural wise, I can totally imagine why being in Indonesia worked for my grandparents, because the culture is way more introverted than it's in Western countries, basically. So as an introverted person, as a highly sensitive person, you might feel more at home in a space like that. And I really wanted to feel and experience Indonesian culture on Java. And obviously, I'm not sure it's obvious to you, but I love nature. Even picked my studies way back when because of nature, because of planet Earth. I am actually, back in the day, an earth scientist. The only moment I actually use this education is when I'm on holiday. And I love to go to all these nature phenomenons like volcanoes, like waterfalls, like anything nature, it makes me happy. So in Indonesia, there was no question about it. We were going to climb volcanoes. And with traveling, I love to travel. The thing is, you go to new places. You are going to do things you haven't done before. And that always gives me a thrill when I'm in this new place and I'm exploring and learning all this new stuff. As long as it's not super scary, I'm good to go. This is nice. Let's do this. we arrived in Indonesia, and obviously, as tourists, you do everything by taxi from the airport to the hotel in a taxi and gripping like the window handle of the car because this guy is driving like a crazy person, at least to me. The thing with doing the scary thing, and whether that is in your business, in your life, when you're going abroad on a trip, it doesn't really matter. But you know, this is a business podcast, okay? So in your business, it's about, there are a lot of things that can scare you. At least a lot of things scared me. I still remember putting up my website for the first time. I was so scared what people would think. Spoiler alert, nobody looked at this website. But hey, it doesn't matter. Back to Indonesia. Being in this taxi over and over and over again, you get used to it. When you do it more often, it gets easier over time. Luckily, I came back safe and sound, so that went well too. I did a lot of scary things in Indonesia. One of them, climbing, not one, but actually 2 volcanoes. And the first one was Bromo, and it made this larger than life sound that made like me feel I had to run away because it's just too scary to be there. My legs were shaking, my heart was pounding. Oh my MG, the sound in my head. I thought I couldn't do it. But, earth scientist as I am, I know this thing is probably not gonna explode right now. It's not gonna be, it is active, but it's not gonna erupt right now. I can be here for 5 minutes in the larger than a lifetime scale of time in terms of geology. This is like a nano, even less than a nanosecond that I'm here. So the chances are not that big that this is gonna do something. On the edge of this volcano, I realized this is the same as business. And it's not like I was on a trip, I was on vacation, I planned the whole thing, I had someone running my business in the background for me. It was great. So I wasn't actually working, but I realized entrepreneurship is training yourself to do the scary thing over and over and over again. No one tells you this when you start your business. That is not just about doing what you love, making an impact, and it's going to be easy and everything is going to be an instant success. No, you also sign up for doing what scares you the most. And it doesn't matter what that is. If that's sharing your face on video, if that's asking a certain amount of money for the product or the job that you're going to do, saying no to a client. I think that's one of the most scary things I've ever done. Launching something you poured your heart into, a course, like a program or whatever it is, there's no guarantee anyone is ever going to buy it. Like I said, still remember putting up my website for the first time. Big anticlimax, was super scary, no reaction at all. But the thing is, in business, being able to do that, to do the one thing that scares you the most, and you know what is scaring you the most right now, to do that, being able to do that, that is what being an entrepreneur is about. That you create this muscle, that you train it to do the things that scare you the most. Because every successful entrepreneur out there does things that they're afraid of. One of my favorite entrepreneurs of all time, Sarah Blakely, she has that as a quote. Recently, she shared a story on Instagram where she shared that one of her kids said, "Yeah, mommy is never scared." And she said, "Well, mommy is terrified all the time but she still does it anyway. And that's what this podcast is about. Giving away everything now, but that's fine. Luckily, you can train a skill. You can train the skill of doing the scary thing. Becoming this confident entrepreneur is actually about commitment. Commitment to yourself. Commitment to do the scary thing over and over again. If that's standing on the edge of a volcano and looking to the lava and the steam that's coming out of it and hearing the sound that's coming out of it and doing it the next day again to look at blue flames and then taking a boat on a sea that feels like this boat is not going to make it at all. Doing this over and over again, and it doesn't really matter if you do this in your life, in your business. You gotta do it everywhere. You gotta build this muscle. It's conditioning. Because your nervous system, it's when you try to do the scary thing, it goes haywire. It's going to tell you, back off, leave it alone, go back to safety right now, go back. You've done things you thought were scary before, right? You also know that the rush that comes after it, like you did this thing, and that it feels so rewarding, so good. That is training your nervous system. You can train your nervous system by doing this over and over again, by posting that video that you're scared of, by sharing that story about yourself. Do you feel like, am I really going to put this out there? Yes, you are. You can do it. It will help you to not later in life, you lived a couple of years and thinking, I wish I did that. I wish I had the courage to do that. That is a thought in my head that always comes up when I'm doing something that's really scary, like standing on the edge of a volcano, but also this boat on a private snorkel tour that I went on with Bart. I'm scared of open water. I'm scared of sea. I am so scared of being in a boat that does not feel seaworthy at all. But I knew if I do not go and snorkel and see what the underwater world looks like, I will regret it later. And that's the same in my business. If I don't share this course or I don't publish a certain podcast episode that feels very vulnerable to me, if I don't start the webinar strategy that I started for one of my courses, for which you actually can sign up, now that I mention it, become visible and attract clients in an introvert-friendly way. That is what the webinar is about, and it's obviously about doing the scary thing, becoming visible online. Link is in the show notes. You can always sign up, and I will see you there. Doing the scary thing, not doing it, and holding yourself back in safety, never doing anything, that's gonna be so sad if you regret stuff later, that you didn't post this particular thing, that you didn't try that certain business model or that certain marketing plan that you had. It's so sad if you don't do it. So let's build this confidence. Let's build this courage, this bravery, because making bold moves, doing the scary thing, even if it's just like a very small thing that scares you a lot, doesn't matter how that looks like to the outer world. If they think that's easy for her, she does that all the time, and you feel afraid, that's fine. Just do it. Just do it. What I am currently avoiding is this. You might have seen it on photos recently. You might have seen it in my webinar because I teach that live from time to time. And you might have seen it in my webinar. There are not a lot of parts that I share about my personal life, but I will share this story with you because I will show you, hey, you can do the scary thing too. Maybe for you, that's going live on Instagram. Maybe it's recording a reel where your face is like front and center and you're talking to the camera. I know you can do it. Maybe it's putting your offer out there before it feels perfect. Maybe it is telling your family that you're doing this business for real. Bart and I have been together for over 10 years now. And I always told him, exactly 10 years ago, we had this discussion in Canada. I was living in Canada at the time. And he asked me, we were in a restaurant and we're sitting in a restaurant, minding our own business, looking at each other. We hadn't seen each other for 3 months, eating burgers because Canada was a burger restaurant. Next to this huge provincial park in Ontario, Algonquin Park. We haven't even noticed the people sitting right next to us. We only have eyes for each other. But Bart is going to the bathroom for whatever reason. The people that were sitting next to us, they were actually standing at the bar at the time, and they stopped him. Like, are you on your honeymoon? And Bart, he's, what? What? Why are you asking me this? I'm like, I'm having like a 6-month relationship with this girl, and she left for Canada immediately after we made it official. No, we're not on our honeymoon. The moment we decide to pay for dinner and leave, the waiter comes to us with a check and says, this is already paid for by the people who are sitting next to you. Welcome to Canada. And that actually started a conversation about marriage, where I said, I might ask you one day. And he forbade me. There's not gonna happen. You're not going to ask me to marry you. I will be the one who does the asking. Okay. And I hinted from time to time that I would love to have a ring on my finger and do the marriage thing for real. And somewhere along in this 10 years, we became official partners, which is a thing in the Netherlands. Legally, we are married. It just didn't have the whole romance around it. It's also the reason why it feels weird to call him my husband. No, he's just my partner in life. And after this super scary snorkeling tour, where I think this day cannot get any better. I loved it. We even saw a sea turtle in real life. This day is amazing. And we come back to the resort, which is like this spiritual resort on a super small island on Java, in front of the coast of Java, Karimun Java. It's like this spiritual orb in the middle of the mangrove forests. You cannot see the resort from the sea. That's impossible. And the people who are working there, they come up on the jetty to where we arrive on the boat, basically. And I'm like, this is weird. This is really weird. Maybe this is part of the romance package. We didn't have the romance package, but someone is coming up there with a plate with a lot of flowers and 2 glasses full of mango juice and 2 other people with cameras. And he goes down on one knee and he asks me to marry him. Obviously, I said yes because this ring on my finger. The reason that I share this story, like this is deeply personal to me. I am so happy that I'm engaged now. I have a fiance now. It's really nice to calm that. I don't think I will share the pictures in the video that has been made. It's super personal to me. And I think it's scary to put this out there. If you're listening to this, I decided to put it out there. And you are hearing this for the first time because I haven't shared this on any other platform at all. But this is how I do things that scare me. I always ask myself when I think of something new, of something I have to do, of something I think that is scary, but I feel like this could really help my business, or be like super amazing to experience in my life? Will I regret it if I don't do it? If the answer is yes, then I remind myself, doing scary things is like training a muscle. Breathe in, breathe out, and just go for it. Take the first step, do whatever it is. You can always turn back. In this case, if I feel like not sharing this anymore, I'll just delete the episode. You can always take actions to undo what you did, usually. But training yourself to do the scary thing and having this appointment with yourself and showing up, doing what feels scary, what feels tough, what feels like it's something you might not ever be able to do, by taking this small first step and having commitment to yourself, that will build confidence over time. It will build. The commitment will build confidence that you can do anything in life, in your business. Celebrate every single success that I have. Like, I did, this is awesome. Go me. Woohoo! Do like a victory dance, whatever it is that you do to celebrate your victories. For the bigger ones, I usually go out for dinner. Do something to treat myself with a massage or a sauna. And not because it was perfect, not because I put the perfect offer out there, written the perfect email, created the perfect webinar, created the perfect course whatsoever, hired my first employee or freelance person to help me. It's because I did it. And it all starts, everybody starts at zero. And taking that first step, that is the most powerful thing you can do in your business. Climbing that volcano in your business and embracing how scary it can be to be on the edge and still doing it anyway, that is the power of an entrepreneur. That is going to be golden in your business. That's how I got comfortable on camera. And by the way, you can definitely learn that too. And if you want to know the first steps of becoming visible online, you can always sign up for my free webinar, Attract Clients the Introvert-Friendly Way. And the link is in the show notes, so you can sign up and I will see you there. So I want you to ask yourself something. What if the moment that you feel the fear coming up isn't a stop sign? But what if it's like a starting bell? That the thing that scares you the most is usually the right direction to go in, especially in business. This is the thing that can unlock your next level in business. If you train for this, you can make bolder moves. You can improve your business. You can grow your business. You can make more impact, because that's probably also one of the reasons you started your business, to make a real difference out there. What if you took that first step, messy, scared, real, doesn't matter, that might even be exactly why people choose you? Because entrepreneurship isn't about perfection. It's about being in motion all the time. Put one foot in front of the other. And it doesn't matter if that's like climbing a volcano, knowing it can crush you at any time. And to finish that metaphor, volcanoes erupt on a geological timescale is like thousands of years. It's this moment right here, this moment that you're standing on the edge of that volcano and doing something real for your business that really makes impact. Like the rest of the world, compared to that, it's such a small thing. In your head, it might be super big, it might be super impactful, and you deserve to experience it that way. But you could also reframe it and say, compared to whatever's going on in the world, compared to the fact that we're just like this super small kind of person on this planet somewhere in a huge ass universe. Maybe it's not the end of the world if this goes wrong. Maybe it's just me living my life on a level that is new to me, that's exhilarating, that I love, that I make impact with. There's magic if you do that. There's magic if you take the step. And if you feel like this episode is inspiring you, make sure to share it with someone who's also building something brave, something business-like. DM me on Instagram, let me know what is your next scary step. What is the thing that you're going to do next? And I'll be there to support you. If you want help with becoming visible online, make sure to sign up for the webinar, Be Visible and Attract Clients in an Introvert-Friendly Way, because you deserve to run a successful business. Next episode is going to be all about, hey, you're going on vacation. Something happens in your life and you're like, I need to take care of myself because I'm sick. I need to take care of someone else because they're sick. I need to go to a funeral. I need to go to a wedding. In other words, you don't have time to show up, to be visible. We'll talk about how to stay visible when you cannot show up. And I'll let you in on a little secret. I love talking to you today. I hope to see you in a webinar of mine. And keep showing up. Scared, soft, strong, wherever you are in your life right now. Because your business, it's yours to build. It's yours to experience the magic. You can truly do this. I'll talk to you next time. Let's record.